I am Carrie Wilkerson, and I am the founder at motivationalkeynotespeaker.com, also carriewilkerson.com. I'm the author of The Barefoot Executive and Move the Needle and many other things. I am excited to be here with you. This is specifically for those business leaders like me. I've been 21 years creating my own paycheck from home, using my brains, my skills, my space, my services, all of those things. And you probably know that if you have read The Barefoot Executive. So that being said, glad you're here today. Today I want to talk about influence. It's a buzzword. It's a buzzword, and for some people, it's a goal job. I see lots of young people or younger people, which is not hard. Let's face it, it's not hard to be younger than me these days. But I see lots of young people say, my goal is to be an influencer. I want to be a brand influencer. I want to be a product influencer. Like, that's their whole job description they want to do. And I want to say, much like the Princess Bride, you keep using this word. I don't think it means what you think it means. I want to talk about why you must be an influencer if you're in business. Let's talk about why influence is important and what does it really mean. Let me tell you a story. I read an article recently about a young influencer that had millions of followers on Instagram. Millions. And so she decided, like a lot of them do, to launch a t-shirt line to represent a clothing line. And so she posted about it, she talked about it, posted about it, and then had to cancel it because she couldn't even meet the minimum order required to produce this clothing line. She had big numbers, she supposedly had a good engagement, but she could not move people to action. Therefore, no matter if her job description says she's an influencer, if she cannot influence people to take action, she has no influence. However, there may be somebody that lives on your street or that is a fellow soccer mom with you, in my case, volleyball mom or theater mom, that no matter what they say, you run, go get it. Here's an example of that. I was at a Meet the Teacher night the other night, and a girlfriend of mine had just this fabulous hairdo. And I said to her, did you go to the dry bar today? Did you go get a blowout today? She said, no, but, and she reaches for her phone, which is what we do. She reaches for her phone and she pulls up a thing and she says, this is a straightening brush, a drying brush. I forget what she called it. She said, this is what I did. This is what I've been doing this summer. This is how it works. I'll text you the link. Did I buy one? Nope. I bought two. I bought one for the upstairs and I bought one for the downstairs. I didn't even have to try it first because I saw the results and I trust her influence. Listen to me. She has a handful of friends on Instagram, a handful of people on Facebook. She is an influencer compared to this other young lady who had the numbers, who calls herself an influencer. She had no influence. Why is influence necessary in your business, and how do we get it? Well, you know, it's a whole masterclass on how to get it and how to do it. Number one is to lead yourself first. Influence yourself first. Be who you say that you are. Do what you say that you will do. Be consistent. Keep showing up. Those are a couple of basic things. But why is it important to be an influencer? First of all, don't just go around saying, oh, I want to be an influencer. I want to be an influencer. That's like going around saying, oh, I want to be popular. Don't do that. And that's basically what those humans are saying. Oh, I want to be popular. I want to be popular. I want to be popular. Eeks. How old are we? I don't want to be popular. I want to have influence. I want to sway decisions because of three reasons. Number one, because we have something to say. We have something to say, something to be helpful about, something to share, a lesson learned, like my friend with her curling brush, right? She's gonna die when she finds out I used her as an example today. We have something to say. So maybe we're a speaker, an author, a service provider. We have something to say and we need people to hear it. Well, great. But if you're standing at in a room by yourself, nobody's going to hear you. You have to have some influence in order for people to hear you. So it's important to build an influence because you have something to say. Do you have something to say? Maybe what you have to say is about financial freedom. Maybe what you have something to say is about convictions or core values or experiences as an older parent or a parent of multiples or an adoptive parent or foster parent. You have something to say. Do you have something to say? Tell me that you have something to say, and you just have to say it. I have 4 kids, and my third is 15. And I remember when she came home from kindergarten, and she was being bullied and made fun of, teachers and kids alike, for singing all the time. It actually chokes me up a little. Singing all the time. Katie, shh, sit down. Katie, shh. Why are you singing on the playground? Why are you singing? Why can't you just be like other people? Just picked on all the time. And she said to me, and tears in her eyes, and she said to me, Mama, what is it when you just have a song right here all the time and it just has to come out? And I said, baby girl, that just means you're compelled. That means you just have the spirit of that song. You have to sing it. Don't let people stop your song. Don't let people shush your song. And now, that was over 10 years ago. Katie Grace is now 15, learning to drive and studying for a career on Broadway. And we have not shushed her. We have encouraged her song. It's loud sometimes, but she has something to sing. So what do you have to say? What is needing to come out? Number 2, you need to have influence because you have something to solve for people. You have something to solve. So maybe I need influence because I have something to say. Maybe I need influence because I have something to solve. What do I mean? If I had the cure for cancer, I have something to solve. I need some influence. I need to be places of influence. I need to have people listening. I need to be consistently showing up, consistently leading myself first in order to develop credibility and authority so that I can help solve this. What are you solving? Do you need influence so that you can help more people solve those things? And if you say, oh, but Carrie, I don't know that my business or my product or my service or my message solves anything, I would say you're probably wrong. Dig a little deeper, right? Dig a little deeper to figure out what you're solving. Are you solving a time crisis, a stress crisis, a health crisis, a weight crisis, a confidence crisis, an esteem crisis, a parenting crisis? What is it that you're solving? And you need influence to help people solve that. Otherwise, listen to me. If you are not building influence in order to help more and more people solve things, you are being selfish. You're being selfish because you're worried about what they're going to say, or you're tired, or your feelings are hurt, or you're busy, or you're lazy, or you think there's more time later. But if you really can solve that for people, you should have a burden. You should have that feeling right here that Katie Grace has about that song. She's got to get it out or she's going to explode. What are you compelled to solve? And so you need influence in order to help people solve those things. So number 1, you have something to say. So let's build influence because you have something to say. Number 2, you have something to solve, a solution for people, something to solve unapologetically. Unapologetically want to solve. Number 3, something to sell. And listen, there is no shame in that. There is no shame in having something to sell. I, as you guys know, love Zig Ziglar, and the late Zig Ziglar is a mentor of mine through books first, through audio second, and then in person third. And Zig Ziglar would say, nothing happens until somebody sells something. It funds our economies. It funds our life. And listen, if you're in a relationship, you're selling something. If you're a parent, you got to sell something all the time. If you are a kid in school, you're selling fundraisers, or you're selling yourself to get into a club or an office or a sport. We are all in sales. Stop having shame about sales. Do you have a product that you're proud of, that you're selling? Maybe you are the product that you're selling, that you're proud of. As a speaker, I not only have something to say and something to solve, but I am that something to sell, and that's hard. Do you have something to sell? A product, a service, something, a gadget, a widget? But then it also should point back to number 2, what is it solving for people? We have to build our influence. As business owners, we're obligated to build our influence. Number 1, to protect people from the shysters and the hucksters and the people that are not looking out for their best interest, but also for the good of our family. I will not apologize for supporting my family. I will not apologize for working hard to provide options for the people that I love, the charities that I love, the purposes that I love. I will not apologize for that. And if I have to have leadership and influence in order to have credibility, authority, and move people to make a decision, much like my friend with the curling brush, and not like the girl on Instagram who has great pictures, great messages, lots of numbers, no influence. Those are 3 reasons in your business you need to be concerned with influence. It doesn't mean you need big numbers. It means you need to be able to lead people from one decision to another. Influence and leadership. Now, what's the number 1 way you can do that? Through these online mediums that we have. The number 1 way is to list build. The number 1 way is to get people on your email or your text or your social marketing list. And so that's what we're going to be working on. If we have something to solve, we can't keep it to ourselves out of selfishness. We just can't. We've got to share it. We have an obligation, and then they can do with it what they want. Thanks for joining me on this sunny morning. And I hope you have an amazing weekend full of possibility thinking about what you have to say, what you have to solve, and what you have to sell. Mwah. Love you guys. Mean it. Talk soon.